first hella electric guitar last time, and now it's a sick drum beat. Damn. It's 6 minutes past 10. It's time for a music stream. Get your nerd cap on, for we are delving into why music sounds so good. We're going to be catching up on the music analysis, the stream request Discord channel, because it's backed up. So we're going to clear that blockage, get through some good music analysis, and have a great day. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hold on. Alferg, hello. Anyone else who's here, if you're watching the VOD, if you're here live, oh my god, the army is coming, This track is even called The Cursed Army. If you are here in VOD form in the future, if you're here live, if you're active, if you're not active, it's just wonderful that you could still be here. I appreciate that you have decided to make each other a part of our days, so thank you for that. Welcome, one and all. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back to the Everything GM broadcast, where we do lots of different things. If you haven't joined the Discord already, you definitely should. And, yeah, make sure you have a drink in your hand. Make sure that you're being kind to yourself. And everyone give me your mental and physical health out of 10. Today is a music analysis day. We're going to be looking at some tracks and analyzing them. Usually I'm very tired after music analysis, so I'm going to try and take it a little bit easier. Especially because tonight's stream, the Thursday evening stream, is, let's break this down a little bit. Let's go a little bit more chilled. There you go. That's good. Especially because next stream is going to be a very, capital V, special, capital S, stream, capital S. And I'm not sure. Some people have figured out what it is because it was impossible to hide, unfortunately. Not that I told them; they found out on their own. But there is a lovely surprise coming. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for the evening stream. And we'll be able to see something really quite fun and experience something fun as well. So, yeah. I got no TikTok for you today. It's the morning. I'm tired. I don't feel like educating on that level. I'm going to educate on a musical level today. We're going to talk about what makes music tick. We've got a couple songs. Let me have a look at the music request. I have noticed you. No need for a timer this time. Good morning. Oh, that explains it. Hold on. Why is it the default device, man? Why is it the default device? Hold on. I need to go with... Let's see if this will work. Hang on. If I go like here. No, see, this is the default device. Oh my god. It's fine. It's fine. Where's my... There we go. It should work now. Right, try speaking again.
Hello?
Hey, excellent.
Hello? Okay.
Hello, hi. How are you today?
I'm alright. There's not a whole lot to really say today.
Oh, really? Why is that? Also, hang on. It's it's Wednesday night. Did you have a day off today?
No.
Oh, it's nighttime. Sorry, I forgot. Yeah, it's fine. We're good. Why? What's what's going on today? Anything interesting happen?
Really, the most interesting part was I was in a spot that I'm not normally.
You were in a spot that you're not normally in?
For work.
Ah, for work. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you get moved for something?
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. In a good way or in a not so good way?
In just a alright way.
Okay. Alright. Well, it sounds exciting. I'm trying to look up through the music requests thing. I can't remember how far up I have to go before I think that there's a Cuphead thing here. Something that Tater's requested. But I've done a lot of ticking things down here. Oh yeah, I know where I am. It's fine. It's fine. I think there's another Motion 6 song. And then I want to try. There's also Saddam by AlicebanD. And there's another Flowbots one. There's a lot of stuff that you've done here. There's one that Hewan wanted me to do, and there's one that Ray wanted me to do. Okay, cool. Alright, I know what I'm gonna do. Oh, we've done this one. Yo. Another Motion 6 song. Okay. Right. I think we'll start with the piano thing. Let's go with the piano thing that Hewan wanted me to do. So this is from a movie. Ah! So this is from a movie. I'm not sure. I can't remember what movie it's from. The movie Secret. It's called the movie Secret. That's why it's called Secret Piano Battle. It's because it's Secret's piano battle, not like a secret piano battle that happens. It's not really secret. Lots of people are watching it. But yeah, so this is, I think we'll start with this one. This should be fun. Hang on. There we go. I don't know if I'll even be able to show this. Like, I think copyright might hurt me for this. But we'll see. And if it does hurt me, then we'll just go back and we'll listen to it audio only. But yeah, this is a piano battle from the movie Secret. I will share my screen with you so that you can listen as well. And let's see what makes this bad boy tick. All right. I think I've seen a little bit of this before. It's like people try to play like really impressive piano pieces against each other. It's like I said, it's like a piano battle. It's pretty interesting, but I think, yeah, I haven't seen it in a while. I don't really remember what happens. So yeah, it's as if I'm seeing it for the first time. Let's see if we can find something fun.
今天呢，我们新同学要挑战宇豪，实在是勇气可嘉。我们大家给他点掌声，好不好？
那在干嘛呢？练琴啊，你不知道啊？
学妹们，
Cool. It's a piano battle. Okay, hold on. Right, hang on. Over here.
知道他的绰号是什么吗？也不会有人。
Okay, no one can compare to him.
正式开始。
It's a piano battle. Okay, let me go here. Oh. Okay.
哇，把黑键变白键呢。
Let me get to the piano pieces. There we go. Okay, cool.
新同学
Seems
刚刚
fine.
听仔细了吧？你可一个音都别错啊。
Okay, obviously the new guy is doing a thing. Whoa! Oh, he's matching him. Okay. Alright, first of all, this is a Yamaha piano, and you can tell because the sound is bright. Yamaha makes bright sounding pianos with lighter keys, like less heavy keys, so when you play it sounds a lot more bright. Now, I'm not sure if they actually recorded this particular instrument, but it does sound like a Yamaha to me. Also, there is a copyright warning here, so we're going to listen to things audio-wise instead of just instead of watching the video, because obviously that's watching a movie, so we're not going to do that on stream. But I will rather listen to it in the background. Okay. Oh, my chat died for a second. That's why I couldn't see everyone. But yes, Ember, Hewan, Baron, hello. Okay. So, let me see here while I hopefully don't get clapped for copyright. We're going to keep going here. So, first of all, this piece, I don't know the name of the piece, but you can tell here that it is made with a, hold on a second, like this. So that is a very, if you break it down slower, that's what we call an arpeggio. It's a descending, sort of arpeggiated, it's an arpeggiated chord that is then played in various like sections of itself, and you can tell that with the intervals that are there. So it's usually, he's playing only in fifths. So when you go here, let me show you on a, you know what I can do? What I can do is show you on a piano. Well, let's go to my virtual piano. Now I know I have an actual piano here, and I know that was supposed to change things, but I wonder if this would work just the same. Ooh, let's go here. Yeah, this is a good one. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. 7 out of 10 only because I didn't have my earbuds at work. Ah, fair enough. Well, good thing we weren't doing an evening stream yesterday. Okay. It's one of Chopin's etudes? Oh, okay, that makes sense. Definitely more excited for like one of Chopin's usual works, which are usually more soft and slow. So that's pretty cool. Okay, piano looks easy to master. All right. I would say it's really hard to learn. I wouldn't say easy to master, but in that sense, it's not any more difficult than any other instrument. It's just got its own special difficulties. The main difficulty about a piano is that it needs, you need to focus on two hands doing two completely different things at once. But, you know, you don't have the difficulty of breathing techniques, right? That other breath instruments would have. And you don't have like, you don't have to tune your instrument yourself with your fingers like on a string instrument, like a violin or a guitar. So that part of the difficulty is taken out of it. But with piano, it's really just about, it's really just about agility and finger strength. And I would say more about hand-eye coordination and being able to coordinate two hands doing completely different things at the same time. Opus 10, number 5. Okay, cool. All right, so if you are completely new here and you don't know what's going on with, like, musically, I will show you now. So we start with so boom. So I'm gonna pretend it's, hang on, let's go. Cool. So we're in that key. I don't know why sustain is on. Turn that off. There you go. Okay. So it's in F sharp major. This note is called F sharp, and if you want to make an F sharp major chord, it starts like that. All right? And then if you want to play what's going on here, I can hear that this is an arpeggio with the fact that we're doing this. Okay, I want you to listen again, and it's much. Let's listen to it slow. Let's listen to it full speed and see if we can see if you can understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm actually gonna split this so that you can just see the piano going on here. Yeah. So Listen to it again. And we'll do it slower now. Hold on. Let me go with playback speed 0.5. This will be fun. Yeah. So it's not, yeah, it's, bump. Okay. Now, how do I know that these are part of the scale, and how do I determine that this is F sharp? This is just because, well, the name is F sharp, and these notes here, these make a chord in that key of F sharp. F sharp, A sharp, technically, C sharp, C sharp. The sharps are meaning one semitone higher than the actual note, so we go bum, 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 bum. Together, that makes what we call an arpeggio. And if we play them together, it's a chord. If we play them separately, da-da-da-da, it's an arpeggio, right? And that particular piece relies on playing that kind of arpeggio very, very, very quickly and broken up. So, but it's still according to those same notes, right? And of course, they will then change, but the main anchor of the piece is that arpeggiated figure. And we will do that in different chords as you hear it. Listen to it now. Listen to it a little bit closer now. We'll go at full speed because, wow, that's ass if you try and slow it down. But let's see. Okay, cool. Fine. So far, just it's a very quick and lively piece that is designed around arpeggiated figures, splitting octaves, and things like that. What I mean by splitting octaves is that is an octave. It's the same note. It's just exactly one sequence higher, which makes it sound a little bit different, but it is technically the same note. Okay. Also, hello, Ember. Nice to see you. We're doing piano music today. Oh, okay, now you'll notice here, listen carefully to the first bit. Okay, that's in the key of F sharp major. Okay, now listen again. Oh, and then, right, so we've got an octave break that goes up in a semitone, and then we have, and then we go up a semitone. So we go from F sharp, all of these arpeggiated chords, all the way to G major. Now we're in G. Cool. Now we're in G major. And a lot of that is the way that you can figure out is, aside from reading just the keys, what's interesting about this is that we come from F sharp major, which sounds like this. Those are our main keys in that chord, and then we move to G major, which sounds like this. And these, if you move these keys up one semitone each time, they will make it up. Very cool. This is what we call a modulation, a key change, and it happens all the time. A good key change, a good modulation is very, very nice. Sometimes composers will modulate for like a couple bars. Sometimes they will modulate for the rest of the piece. It really depends. There are a lot of common modulations you can make, like modulations to the fifth, where you can start in C major, and you can go from C, and you can modulate to its fifth note, which is up here, which is G, and you can start there. You can modulate that to G major, and you can change your piece to G. That's one of the best ways we can do that is start with C. Okay, I'm just making up stuff, and then dun, 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 and then dun, 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 and that now we're in G major. We borrowed a chord from G first, which was this one, because this note does not exist in C major, which we then would move into G. So that helps us modulate. Modulations happen all the time. They're very, very normal. And here you go. It seems like the original piece is a drill for black key practice. It would be, because I imagine so, because F sharp major is a almost all black keys. It's got all of the black keys in the scale. It's just got some white keys in it as well. And I think, yeah, it would be good practice there. That version from the movie is their variation from the original piece. Oh, cool. Okay, cool. I did not know that. All right, let's keep going. Still a key change. Oh, that's why it said turning black keys to white keys. Very cool. The subtitles here is turning black keys to white keys because now you've moved in F sharp major arpeggios to G major arpeggios. Very, very interesting. And it's a very different technique to play black keys like that and white keys like that. It's easier to do arpeggios on the black keys than it is on the white keys because you've got to get your fingers down a little bit deeper on white keys. With black keys, they can just kind of dance on the top. Okay, let's keep going. Still same key. He does some cool smug look at him and everyone claps and the other guy's like, you can't play like the man himself. He's the Prince of Piano. And there's even a finger wag, man. It's great. All right, and then we listen to this. Here, watch this. Okay, and then he starts. Okay, so he plays the same piece again. He's just kind of showing that I can do it too. You know, it's not that hard. And he's playing it in the original key, which starts, which you know because it sounds, it's up here. So he's playing it in the original F sharp major key. And what's interesting about this is that he starts off with this little thing. Hold on. Okay, that. Let's try it again. Okay, that's called a glissando. If you don't know what that is, we also call it a slide, where you take your finger on the nail here and you go down the piano, or you go up the piano with another nail, usually your middle fingernail. And you use nails because it slides easier. It doesn't get caught with your finger. You don't risk pulling keys out of their anchors, but you also don't risk like hurting your finger. So the fingernail will do a much better job there. What he is doing, if you look visually, is he's actually doing it on the black keys, which is way harder to do. A glissando is a very cool like technique in a lot of pieces that will be used to create flow. But it's also used for a lot of pianists to show off and say, look what I can do with my fingers. And a black key glissando, because it's got other keys in the middle of it, you can see that on this piano here by the shadow effect that exists here. You can see that there's a gap here. So if you were to be playing only on white keys as a glissando, it's a lot easier than going only going on black keys. Now, of course, it's including the white keys in with this for this particular time. Because I'm not playing an actual piano. But here, playing only black keys or playing black keys and white keys from this position is a lot more difficult. So yeah. Long nails necessary for piano? No, you don't need a long nail. In fact, I would recommend, no, short nails actually necessary. You don't want to, when you play a piano like this, if you have nails that are too long, they're going to click-clack all over the keys. So if you have shorter nails, it's actually better. A glissando does not require a long nail to do. You just need to hold your hand. You just need to hold your hand flat and then just go down, or hold your thumb up flat and just do that. It's not necessary to have long nails. In fact, it's more necessary to not have long nails there. Okay, let's see what this guy does with it. So far, he's just mimicking him, just being like, "Look what I can do it as well." Let's see if he changes it. Okay. Still same. Okay. Still same modulation. He's basically telling him that I can do this as well, so don't worry about it. Okay, I'm gonna take some time. I can see something because I'm watching the video, but unfortunately you can't. But something that's really important to note here is his finger positions. if you're a pianist or if you're interested in knowing how the piano works, your fingers, obviously you're playing like this, but there are very specific ways that you can play the piano depending on your finger positions, which will determine not just the sound, but it will determine how hard you have to work, how much wrist support you need, etc. Usually, you should try to play like this. You should try to play like that. We don't want flat fingers, and we don't want gnarled fingers. We want curled fingers, and they sit on the piano like this. As soon as you start doing this, you start putting all the strength in your fingers alone, and it just makes them tired really, really quickly. And it eliminates the need, or it eliminates the ability for you to play dynamically in your piano playing. So you wouldn't really be able to do soft as well than if you had a curled finger, because you could put more effort into things. If things are flat, you're just kind of da 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 da, you know. And I want to comment on that because this guy has a really good finger technique. His fingers are curled just in the right places, and they are moving up and down quite nicely. So there you go. Am piano player, can confirm. Yes, excellent. I'm so. Wait, did I know that you play the piano? That's really cool. I don't know if I knew that. Otherwise, I would be way more excited. The stream really makes me want to play piano right now. Everyone's learning the piano, and it's so cool. Very, very nice. I am her teacher, and it's going very, very well. She's doing a great job. All right, so far, we've just seen the dude play the same thing, and I'm just using this as an opportunity to teach about piano. So let's see if he changes it up at all. Okay. So far, it's just a mimic. Okay. This dude who's like moderating the rap, like he's not a moderator. He's very clearly in favor of the other guy. He's like, not bad, kid. You didn't miss a single key. And it's like, nah.
This is a piano battle.
I know, but he's not a moderator. He's very clearly in favor of the other dude. Like, this dude doesn't have any... He's got all haters. I don't practice too often anymore because I do art as my main thing, but I've played since like 5 years old. Yay, me too! I think I started when I started officially when I was 6 at school, and I've been playing since then. So I'm 27 now, turning 28. So it'll be nearly 22 years that I've played the piano out of my 27, 28 years on this earth. And I do not regret a single thing. I've loved playing the piano. I love having that under my belt. It's very, very cool. It's a really lovely skill that I appreciate. Am I the only one here that knows nothing about piano? That's okay. This is why we are teaching. When I talk about music analysis, we do lots of things, from lyrical breakdowns to musical breakdowns, and now we're doing piano breakdowns. So if you're around here, you might learn something about everything here. But yeah, do you not play the piano? You don't. How much do you know about music though? Like the classical side of music, not just classical, I suppose, but more like the instrumental side of music. So I'm not advanced level or anything. I can't read sheet music anymore. I forgot, lol, but I can teach myself stuff using YouTube videos if I feel motivated enough. That's good. Yeah. The skills don't leave you. Whatever skill level you get up to is kind of where you stay. If you give it a break for a while and you come back to it, it will just come back to you. Yes, Baron, I'm talking to you. No, I'm a trumpet sax player. Yo, you play trumpet and sax? I didn't know that.
We went over this.
Yeah, wait, oh, we did? Okay, I probably have a bad memory.
Bongo stream.
Oh, yeah. So, do you have a trumpet and sax, like, with you in the house right now?
No.
Oh, that's a shame.
We
What
never
happened to
paid those
yours?
up.
What happened
They
to
were
yours?
just we were renting them for the school band.
Yeah, that makes sense. I played the French horn when I was in high school, and, well, primary school and high school, for a couple of years, and we had to rent as well, because we weren't going to buy. They're very expensive. Okay, it is a good skill to have here, especially for if you want to ever try making music. I dabbled in making my own stuff in middle school. Yes, I will say one of the greatest advantages to learning the piano, I'm not saying that it's any more difficult or easy than other instruments. I'm not a purist like that. But one thing that does make the piano a really important instrument for certain types of musicians to learn is if you ever want to start composing music, you've got to have at least some basic knowledge of the piano. In my opinion, you don't have to. It's not necessary, but I would say it would be a real big boon for you if you did have knowledge of how keys work on a piano and how those notes work. Because a piano is designed that to have almost the full range of options available to like pretty much every piece of music out there. A piano is designed to be the baseline of music, and to learn something like that puts you in a really, really good position to not just being able to play music and to understand music, but to also get a good foundation for making music and for arranging music. It's really, really important. You just listen to music, that's fine. A music enjoyer, music player, all good, man, all good. Also, I've listened to some of the songs that you posted. I've actually heard some of them before, and they are really good. Yeah. Okay, so this guy's gonna play something difficult, more difficult, and we're gonna see if we can follow along. Okay, a Chopin waltz. Okay, how do we know it's a waltz? Because 3/4 time signature. A 3/4 time signature can be divided like this: 3 at the top, 4 at the bottom. When we say 3/4, it means 3 means how many beats in a bar. A bar is like one cycle, and 4 is what is the type of note that we are actually counting in. What is the type of beat? A 4th beat is a quarter note, also known as a crotchet, which is your basic counting note. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that we're counting in crotchets. They're just maybe slightly faster or slower crotchets. They're also called quarter notes, and we're counting 4 of them every time we have to repeat. So that time signature would be 4 beats, 4 crotchet notes, 4, 4. This most waltz are in triple time, so that means either 3/4, 3/8, or 3/16, depending on the notes, or 3/2 can be as well. But 3/4 is the most basic waltz, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and you can see here once he plays. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, and when he plays there, you can also go ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. I'm going to talk about that in a second. This is called. This is a really cool technique that we call accidental notes. So what the composer really wants you to play is this, but if he wants you to sound a little bit more fancy, he'll do that. That note there is called an accidental note. It's played very, very briefly, and it just goes brum, 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 brum. It creates a little bit more roundedness to the note, and yeah, it's more fancy. And Chopin loved this stuff. I'll talk about the period that he was in as well. Okay. Oh, he changed tempo. Okay, right. So he starts with lots of these accidental notes. This is very much Chopin, by the way. So Chopin was a French composer in what we call the Romantic period of music. I sent a Romantic playlist to Alfred the other day, and it's my second favorite period of classical music. My first being Impressionism, which came after Romantic. Romantic period is when, let me divide things basically. Classical music has seen many phases, but when you think classical music, you are thinking of 4 main periods. You're thinking of Baroque, classical, Romantic, and modern. Between Romantic and modern, we have Impressionism, Expressionism. It kind of moves into modern, but Baroque, classical, Romantic, modern are the kind of main 4 parts of what happens when you think of a general genre of classical music. Baroque started at the beginning, where it's like the 1650s, 1700s. We've got it's just coming off the heels of the Renaissance, and we've got a lot of structure. We've got a lot of people making rules. So we've got Bach making all the rules for, like, what can you do with intervals and things? How do we do chord progressions and things? Then classical took what the fathers of music had made and created something more, I suppose, developed from that. They still stuck to the rules mostly, but then later classical composers like Beethoven started bending rules and breaking them a little bit, especially as he went deaf. You can see that a lot of lower notes when he was going deaf, a lot of his pieces came a lot of lower notes came out of his pieces. He played a lot more loud, muddy chords in the bottom because he actually couldn't hear what he was playing, and he wanted to be able to hear it better. So he was one of the main composers, the most famous ones to really like start pushing boundaries of Baroque music, and he moved through classical period, and then we moved into romantic period. We have people like Chopin and Liszt and etc. etc. I off the top of my head I can't really think of them, but romantic period was when people really started engaging with the feelings side of music, with the emotional side. Not that classical music was not emotional, it certainly was, but romantic period really leaned into composing the music emotionally, rather than letting your emotions sit on top of the music. It really, it got you to be more in touch with that, and with that, they started breaking things. They started embellishing a lot more on chords. They started making turn notes, which is like those, or a lot of accidental notes, or a lot of glissandos, and like more flow to their things. And Chopin was like slap bang in the middle of that. He did a lot of stuff like this. And then of course after that, once that happens, we enter a period of art that all art moves into, which is postmodern thought, which is basically, what do the old masters do that I can now break entirely? And then you have Impressionism, which is where I still think it sounds good, but it is still breaking rules. And then we have Expressionism, which is where I don't think it sounds good, but it's still breaking rules. It still counts as music, and lots of people still really like it. It's just really not my taste. Impressionism rides that line for me really nicely. Expressionism just kind of goes over. So yeah, this is slap bang romantic period. Lovely little history lesson for you there. I really hope I can learn a lot of musical theory while playing piano. You can! You do, as we play. That's why I make a focus on it. All right, let's go back. Let's see what happens. You'll notice that he starts off in 3/4, and then he changes to 4/4. Let's listen. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bro, this moderator is not clapping in time, please. Okay, so he just changed piece. He was basically going, he's basically changing to 4/4, changing from 3/4 to 4/4, and also the, hang on. Okay, yeah. So he's basically he makes those chord groups. He makes those note groups in a very interesting rhythm that still matches in with a bar. So usually when you go that's the thing that he does, and it still fits into a 4/4 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Even when you divide into those very complicated sub-rhythms, you're still fitting into 4 beats. Very cool to do. Something that the piano definitely thrives in as an instrument. All right, let's see if the other guy can make it. Okay, he stops.
你真是太有耳福了，羽毫即兴功力果然厉害。
How's improvisation is brilliant. Okay, apparently he'd like improvise that. It's fine. Does he just have to mimic him or something? Let's see. So far, just mimicking. Oh, he's doing it faster. He's doing it much faster. Brother, that's much faster. Holy shit. Okay, that's really impressive. So, it should also be noted that we've got something happening in the left hand, which is a very common thing to happen here. We're going to start here. So we start with this. I'm going to play it here, and I'm going to see if I can do it on the... Dun, dun, dun. That sort of chord structure where you play a one bottom note and then the rest of the note falls in on the offbeat is a very common way of playing left-hand accompaniment. Remember that in every piano piece, each hand has a role to play. Usually, the right hand is responsible for melodies, and the left hand is responsible for accompaniment, and that is simply by the nature of the notes that the right hand and left hand play. The right hand plays notes that are simply up at the top, and usually foundations are created at the bottom, which is why the left hand does the foundation. However, that's not a hard and fast rule. It's just the basis of the piano. You can do whatever you want with it. So there are millions of pieces out there, most probably, that have left-hand melody, right-hand accompaniment, and I bet it sounds really cool. But most of the time, you've got right-hand accompaniment and left-hand melody. That one. Right-hand melody, left-hand accompaniment. And that is mostly because of the location that each hand plays on the piano. But it's not a hard and fast rule, of course not. And this guy, oh my god, he played that really fast. Whoa, very cool. Very, very, very cool. I like that. So he went off into 3/4 again here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So he's doing the same thing, he's just doing it much faster than the other guy. He's like, yeah, I can do it better. And he did it in 4/4. He did the 4/4 section first and then the 3/4 sections. Basically like mirroring the other guy. All right, cool. Yay, good job, new guy. Yeah, people are like, yeah, this dude's actually good. Let's clap for him. Yay. And this smug-ass moderator. He's gonna pull out the big guns now. Oh, he's cracking his fingers. This is gonna be great. Here we go. Bit of chromaticism. Lots of chromaticism. That's tough. That's tough. Not gonna lie. We're gonna start at the beginning. I want to focus on the object of chromaticism. So we start here. This is a note. Okay? This is another note. Cool. What would you say is in between these two notes? A third note. Okay. So the name of this note is F. This note is G. There is a note between these. This note is called F sharp. It is also called G flat. Sharp meaning going up, flat meaning going down. So F, F sharp, G. G, G flat, F. Okay, that's usually how we measure it, right? Now, interestingly about this is that you can create entire pieces based on just this relationship between notes. In fact, most pieces are made on these relationships, in case, even if you're not purposefully doing it. But if you're playing one note here and you're going up and there's a note in between, this is called a tone. A single step. A step up. One and a step. And a step. If you were to play the next note on the piano, those are two half steps or semitones. This is a tone. This is a semitone. And when you start to play a lot of pieces that require... When you play a lot of that up and down thing between semitones, you make use of that relationship. It's called chromaticism. A chromatic scale is a scale that is made entirely of semitones. So usually when you would play a note or when you would play a scale, it would sound like this. Except you would go up to the top, right? But with a chromatic scale, it sounds like this. And you go up in semitones like that. So that's what we call chromaticism, and this piece is designed around chromaticism. Let's see. You can hear it, right? Very cool. Okay, and then obviously he goes like this. Now I want you to listen very carefully to what he does with the left and the right hand here. So the left hand starts with this big, boomy foundation note, and then it comes to join the right hand. His right hand wrist is not moving at 100 miles an hour. The left hand is joining him as he plays the same thing again and again. And his hands are doing this. So sometimes when you think it's going up, like, and being repeated a bunch, is you think that his hand is just going it. Not usually, right? Sometimes, yeah, it can happen like that, but usually he plays down here, boom, and then up, the left hand comes up to help the right hand, and it goes, and they work together, right? So it's not the right hand moving on its own, the left hand comes up and helps it. All right. Okay, MJ, what are your thoughts on the controversial question, G sharp or A flat? It depends on if you're going up or down. So if you are, if you're going up, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. If you're going down, it's A flat, G, G flat, F. Usually that's how the naming system works. But the notes have two different names, and it depends on the key that they're in. And it's really, really important to get that right. Even though they technically are the same note, interchanging them willy-nilly is not good. So there is actually controversy here. And you would say every note is a sharp or flat of another note, simply by being next to it, right? So even though this is middle C, this is just a C note, this is also known as B sharp. B sharp, because there are no black notes in the middle between B and C, so this is just B sharp. Same thing that B is C flat, so C flat, right? Every note is a sharp or flat of some other note. All right, so give me a second. Yeah, so sharps and flats exist all over the keyboard, and yeah, depending on the key that you're in, they have their different names. So for example, in F sharp major, or let's go with a key like, yeah, let's go with D major. D major. Okay, that's a major scale. It's got two black notes, meaning two sharps, and we call them sharps just because that's how D works based on the circle of fifths. That's just what D is named, and it's named with two sharps, namely F sharp and C sharp. F sharp, C sharp. Okay, and we do it like this. So, oops. Cool. We do not name these things G flat and D flat in the key of D. So it really depends on what key you're in. That's just the rule. And that rule depends on something called the circle of fifths, which is the holy grail of musicians. All right, let's go. Let's keep going. Lots of chromaticism in there, even in the chords. See if this guy can... see if he can do it again. Oh, he's repeating it a little bit. Okay. He's expanding on it. He's not making it specifically. He's putting a variation on it. Okay, so that was absolutely incredible. I need you to understand something that happened here. Something that's really only visual, all right? Listen to this. Okay, this is the first guy playing. Sounds good, right? Okay, then the second guy plays. Sounds the same, right? First guy does it with two hands. This dude's doing it with one hand. He's playing all of that with one hand. So remember how I said when the right hand doesn't like do that and move at 100 miles an hour? He's doing it like that. I'm watching it happen. Like, I'm literally watching it on the keys. It's insane. That's insane. Jesus, I don't even know how that's possible. I would have to watch that like way more closely. That's crazy. He is playing it. He's playing all of that with one hand. And if the camera is correct, sometimes cameras invert when it comes to like movies and things, but it actually looks like this should be fine because he's playing on the right side for high notes. That means he's doing it in the left hand, which is notoriously not the articulate hand. Usually the right hand is the articulate hand. That's insane, man. Wow. Oh, he's moving so fast. Okay, I'm really appreciative of the attention to detail in this film and how his hands are seen as having good support. When you play an instrument like the piano, you would think that when you start playing like this, that you would move like this. That's not how it works. When you play the piano, the thing that gives support is your wrist. Your forearm is the scaffolding. It's the basis of your support. Your wrist is the thing that is the fulcrum around which your hand moves. So when you play loud notes, you don't play them like this. You play them like this. There's a difference, right? It's not hand movement. It's not arm movements. It's hand movements. You see? And you move it with your fingers like that. And he is doing that. It's wonderful. Really, really nice to see. There's employment of really good technique here. Yeah. And this is the risk is that if you do this with your forearm, which is the temptation for a lot of people to do, not only does it create pain in your forearm from trying to do that, but it also is not as articulate. You're going to miss a lot of notes and make a lot of mistakes, but you're also not going to you're not going to have that much accuracy, and you're not going to have that much support because your scaffolding is moving all over the place. But if you stick with the scaffolding and you let your hand do the moving, you have way more accuracy, way more sensitivity to volume and dynamics, way more agility. It's just much better all across the board. So yeah, make sure that your forearm doesn't move even when you're playing long notes or loud notes. It's your hand and wrist and fingers that need to move. You need finger strength and wrist strength over forearm strength. Definitely need fast and steady hands to execute this music. Absolutely. 100%. And that steadiness comes from your forearm being the support. The ultimate piano players can make it sound like they have 3 to 4 hands at once. Absolutely, yeah, for sure. And I think some of the most difficult piano pieces often make pianists wonder if they require 3 or 4 hands to be able to play them. It's funny because the wrist versus arm movement tip... Excuse me. Hold on a second. It's the morning. My throat is still getting used to things. All right, it's funny because the wrist versus arm movement though tip is the opposite for how you're supposed to draw. Yeah. Yeah, I know that. Yeah. All right. What if you accidentally press a wrong key in a big event? You make it seem on purpose, or just keep going? Yeah. That's it. That's really it. If you make a mistake, why would you would never stop. Remember that a lot of people who are hearing the piece that you're playing are not experts in it. They're probably not going to tell. Unless you've made a giant mistake, just keep going anyway. And even if you do make a giant mistake, usually just keep going. If you make a mistake, if you accidentally press a wrong key, first of all, not only is that very normal and that happens all the time, but also just keep going. Doesn't really matter. You don't have to stop. Remember, there's a flow. When you start playing a piece, there's a specific flow to that piece. And as soon as you stop and go, sorry, or you make some kind of acknowledgement of a mistake that you've made, you break that flow. So it's really important for all instrumentalists, not just pianists, but any instrumentalist. Well, if you make a mistake, you keep going. If you can't salvage it, you stop. No acknowledgement. You don't say sorry. You don't say my apologies or my mistake or anything like that. You just lift up your hands. You find the place that you were and you start again. And you just keep that flow. That's more sacred than any kind of admittance of a mistake that you could do. Alfred, you wanted to say something?
Oh, I was just gonna say exactly what you were about to say.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Did you ever play when you were playing trumpet and saxophone? Did you ever play in like competitions and stuff?
No, just school concerts.
Oh, okay, cool. Biggest tip I was given from my piano teacher was to learn to not stop when you make a mistake when playing a full piece. Absolutely. It is incredibly important advice. Vital for any instrumentalist to know. Never let them know that you've made a mistake. And if they can figure it out, it's fine, because you're keeping playing anyway. Never stop when you make a mistake. More musicians make mistakes live than you think or notice. You just don't know the song note for note like they do. That's exactly, yeah, absolutely my point. That you might not even be sure that they are making a mistake, and they are. Maybe a piano player would come away from that. Especially, you'll find a lot of concert players, concert pianists, and concert instrumentalists will come away from a concert and be like, I really messed that up, and it sounded absolutely incredible to you because you don't know the piece the way that they do. You don't know what is required. All right, so this dude is doing amazing things, and then they start to do this four hands kind of thing, this dual piano action, which is really interesting. Very cool. Okay. Oh, now it's doing computer-generated stuff to go through the piano and see the hammers moving and stuff. Okay. Okay, so you can see the different style of the pianists here. I'm going to talk about it as opposed to just letting us watch the movie because I'm going to get clapped. So the first pianist, the prince of piano, whatever they call him, he is using a lot of hand movements, a lot of giant leaps and things to show his agility, that he's more about the big stuff. And the other guy, the up-and-comer, the underdog, is showing his agility in the smaller areas, the chromaticism. So he's playing a lot of chromaticism and he's keeping his hands a lot more insular, whereas the other guy is making big movements with his hands. And that's neither of those techniques are wrong. It just shows a very difference. It shows a difference in style between the two players. And both of them are completely valid. And I would say both styles are required if you want to really master an instrument like the piano. So yeah. Even other musicians won't unless they know that specific song super well. Yeah. I mean, it depends. It depends on how well you know music in general as well. Like, if you can tell that a false note was played, you might... you don't have to know the piece specifically very well, but just knowing music pretty well in general, you might be able to pick it out. But even then, it's not about picking out mistakes anyway. It's about enjoying the entire vibe of the piece. And I guarantee you that's what most audience members are going for. No one's coming to a concert and going, gee, I wonder if the pianist makes a mistake. I'm going to look for a false note or anything like that. No one cares, really. The only time that they will care is if you acknowledge the mistake. If you make a mistake and you keep going, they will forget about it. It's fine. Hey, hello, John. Was it Mozart or Amadeus rocking out on the keyboards on Bill and Ted? I have not seen Bill and Ted, but Mozart and Amadeus in my brain are the same person because it was just two of his different names. I haven't seen Bill and Ted, so you would have to inform me of what you mean. But welcome to the music stream. We're doing piano stuff as the main event today. It's quite cool. So yeah, basically just these guys, two different styles. There are a lot of different ways you can play the piano. Obviously, they're showing off two different ways that you can, but I would advise if you want to master the piano, you need to learn both. Okay, very cool. Right, so there's another thing that I wanted to talk about here. And that is just that last bit, where they seem to play the same thing again and again and again and again. Hang on. Dun 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 dun. So that dun 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 dun. So that exit phase of a piece can be as long as the composer likes, and sometimes they'll make it really irritatingly, unnecessarily long. See Beethoven. Beethoven was king of not knowing when to end a piece. It was hilarious. If you listen to especially some of his later works, he had so many pieces where they enter the ending phase and they just stay there for like entire minutes. There are some composers who have false ending phases where they start with like bum 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 ba da 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 da, and then they go into a whole other section. It's crazy. It's really, really interesting. But yeah, It really depends on what the composer wants you to feel as an audience member, as a listener. But that is a very classic ending phase. Bum 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 ba-dum. And that's the classic length of an ending phrase. But you can lengthen it or shorten it however you want if you were a classical composer. Are you going to be doing any other music analysis after this, or just one this stream? No, we're going to do more. We're going to do more. I'm feeling fine. Usually this does kind of take it out of me, but I'm feeling fine so far. I generally feel fine after the first one. But yeah, I use this this piece rather than the actual notes themselves. We use these to discuss an interesting phenomenon that I haven't, well, an interesting area of music analysis that I haven't gone into very frequently, and that is how to play the piano. So that's really, really interesting. So yeah, I enjoyed that. That was fun. I'm gonna take a bit of a break while we, goodness gracious. A little bit of a break while we
I have to entertain the chat.
No. I'm not going to be going anywhere. We're just going to take a small breather from the analysis, because my water is not done yet. Hold on a second. Okay, yeah, we're good. Make sure you interact with the stream. Give it a like, comment on some of the VODs, do a little share, spread with your friends. Should be fun. You're welcome, Hewan. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. That was your request after all, so I'll give that a nice big tick, because we're done with that one. Alright, so who shall I do next? Okay. Since Alferg is here, let's do an Alferg one. No, you know what? Last time I did Alferg second, and I did Ray's last. Oh, I regret doing... So Ray sent me that mad drummer. What's his name again? Hang on, I'll go back. Matt Garstka. So Matt Garsky showed me, this insane drummer playing, and I showed it last, unfortunately, which meant that my brain was like not in the right space for hearing mad drummers. I was like insanely skilled musicians, so all I could really do was gawk at it. But this time, I think I'll play something else that they've shown me, which is called Yelawolf. Apparently, it's heavy and long, but I think it'd be quite interesting to see it first. And I enjoy Yelawolf. I think this might be good lyrical analysis. But yeah, let's have a look at that one, and then we can see about an Alferg one, and then if we've got time, we can do one of Ember's ones down here, since yours are the most recent. I wanna fill up the backlog, basically, Ember, because I do have a lot of stuff that's back here that people did request that I'd like to do before the most recent ones. I have a few options in the chat. Yeah, I know. I can always rely on you for some music for the analysis streams. But I want to give some of the earlier people who've applied a chance as well, so that I'm not just going to the most recent ones. So I'm going to start with Ray's now, so we can be in a slightly better mindset for this. Also, I'm not sure about copyright. We might get clapped again, but we'll have to see. Okay. Damn, 9 million views, 72,000 likes. That's an interesting ratio, actually. 9 million views, but only 72,000 likes. Wow, that's like an only 10% like ratio? Interesting.
Well, think about all the replays.
That's true, that's true. Yeah, a lot of people would probably replay this. Okay. Oh my goodness. Let's take some time to relax. Yeah, there you go. My mic just collapsed on me. There we go. We're just gonna chill for a second. Let the music speak for itself. Gonna get some nice like meditations going. Do you have a drink in your hand? You should. It's okay, even if it's alcoholic. Whoa, that's got some really meaty bass quality to it. Damn. Also, yeah, if you're if you're late to the announcement, then Thursday evening stream will be a Thursday evening stream. So this stream in like 10 hours from now will be a very special stream. So tune in for that. Some people have already guessed what it's gonna be. I can't really hide it. Well, I'm hiding it from you right now, but there was some time yesterday where I couldn't hide it. So some people know what it is, but if you stick around for this evening stream, you will find something very, very special. We'll not be playing Mass Effect. We will be doing something entirely different. It's going to be great. You're going to very much enjoy it. Lol, almost fell. I did almost fall, John. You're right. Okay. I might be in and out since my dad's friend is bringing takeout in a bit. Oh, that sounds great. Very cool, man. All right, let's bring this down a little bit and let's give this a listen. We'll go to some Yelawolf. Okay. This is it. Right. I'm not sure if the virtual piano will be useful for this, but let's see. Okay. The only main time that I've heard Yelawolf is when he made a track for Step Up. Like, do you know about that? It's got Travis Barker and Lil Jon in it. It's called Let's Go, and it's got some really great rap verses that I imitated when I was younger, because I love, like, I enjoy rap, and I loved that kind of rap when I was younger as well, so I imitated it. But that's really the main time that I've heard Yelawolf, so I've never actually heard his real stuff. This is apparently quite heavy. So we're gonna have a look at it. I'm not sure if it's gonna be mainly musical analysis or lyrical analysis, but we will see. This is To Whom It May Concern by Yelawolf, and just in case we get clapped for copyright, as I've said before, I assume it's gonna be rap, because I only know Yelawolf as a rapper, so maybe he's a singer as well. Either way, I assume that this is copyrighted, so just like how we do things all the time here, I will be listening to it in little chunks. If you want to listen to the full song, you can listen to it off stream, of course. You are more than happy to. This is merely an educational portion of it, so we will be listening to it in chunks just to avoid being clapped by the algorithm, just in case. Here we go. This is To Whom It May Concern by Yelawolf. Cool bass sounds. Very nice little. Okay, so first the initial melody has some chromaticism in it every now and then. It's initially sounds a little bit more cheerful, and then it starts to get chromaticism in around here. Remember, chromaticism is when you play around with semitones. So I think this will be quite interesting. Also, it's 8 minutes, so maybe I shouldn't pause that often. We're gonna be here for ages. Yeah, no loitering, trespassing, To Whom It May Concern. Slumerican. I have a feeling I know what this is going to be about. I like these offbeat percussions as well. Very powerful bass. Okay, we've got a pulse now. Bum, 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 bum. Even though everything else, the melody's playing differently, the snare is playing differently, playing on syncopated beats, the bass, listen to the bass, and you can get a good idea of where the beat is. Bum, 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 bum.
So I had a phone call with a good friend of mine the other night, and seems that I've created some confusion. He told me straight up, people don't know you like I do, man. I guess I haven't said enough, or maybe I've said too much, I don't know. But I don't want to leave any stone unturned, or no questions about who I am, or what I represent. So here you go.
All right, little announcement about what the song is going to be about. Basically, just going to be speaking his mind, and just like speaking his truth. Very nice. Against the musical backdrop, we can see that a very basic instrumental has been made here. Now that we actually some very interesting, like intricate, I would say, complexities regarding the instrumental at the beginning. But now it's become a lot more easy to follow, and that is because rap, if this is going to be a rap is designed to obviously focus on the lyrics. That's the main part of the rap, and the style, the sort of main structure of rap music would very much be a main focus on the vocals, so that so in order to focus on the vocals more than anything else, the instrumental has to take a back seat. It can be a good instrumental, which this one is. It's very like I like the intimacy it's got going on. It's not too filled with sound, so it just has these sort of solo instruments playing together, which I really enjoy. But it's still taking a backseat to the lyrics, which is what the focus is going to be.
I grew up in a deep gutter, raised by wolves, church steeples and a single white mother. Taught to be blind to any color by hippies who've been smoking weed since the 60s with Dukes of Hazzard for bed covers. Rock and roll, country music and cocaine. One hand on the Bible and the Ouija board in the other. The irony of it all is so thick that a flower gets stuck in the thin air of that dope smoke. Leonard Skinner and Michael Jackson, practicing moonwalking with a broomstick in the kitchen, popping and locking. No BET on television, we didn't have it. We had the rabbits, the tinfoil, mason jar and a counter full of bacon oil. Now looking back, talking about freedom, yeah, you were spoiled. Oblivious to.
Okay, hold on. Can I get some lyrics here? Hang on. Okay, give me a second. Let's see if we can look at the lyrics together. I want to see if there's a lyrics video. I'll give the other video a like as well, but I want to see the. Yeah, I want to see some lyrics quickly. Hold on.
And seems that I've created some confusion.
Yeah.
He told me straight up.
Maybe not that one. Hang on. Yeah, sure. Let's go with yeah, let's go with this one maybe. Yeah, let's go with this one. Yeah, I want to keep it like taking its sweet time loading. Give me a moment. I'm going for lyrics so that I can actually listen to them rather than like try and pick them out in the music. So let's take a second. Okay. I'll move myself here.
So I had a phone call with a good friend of mine the other night. And seems that I've created some confusion. He told me straight up,
people don't know you like I do, man. I guess I haven't said enough. Or maybe I've said too much, I don't know. But I don't want to leave any stone unturned, or no questions about who I am, or what I represent. So here you go.
All right, I have another thought about this. It's very interesting that musicians are often asked to, as celebrities, and the pedestal we put celebrities on, we often treasure them for more than just the skill in whatever field they're in. So we want them to be also public figures, and I think it's pretty, I think it's pretty awful, the pedestal that we put celebrities on. But while we live in that existence, we have artists who are constantly like expected to also be, you know, who are also expected to be public figures. So I do like that Yelawolf has, in this sense, it seems as though an attempt has been made to get ahead of that and just be like, well, here's what I stand for, just in case anyone wants to know, you can go listen to this song, and this is what I believe. And I think that's pretty interesting. People's beliefs do change over time, but I think this is pretty cool.
I grew up in the deep gutter, raised by wolves, church steeples in a single white mother, taught to be blind to any color by hippies who've been smoking weed since the 60s with dukes and handsome for bed covers. Rock and roll, country music and cocaine, one hand on the Bible and the Ouija board in the other. The irony of it all is so thick that a flower gets stuck in the thin air, that dope smoke.
That's so cool. Okay, so we can go with lyrical analysis here. The first bit is just a very straightforward part of where he grew up and what happened. Raised by wolves, church steeples, and a single white mother. So, seemingly, obviously not a... I mean, I wouldn't say not a full home, because single parents can still do an amazing job. But dual parent homes are most of the time more, like, seen as more stable, at the very least seen that way. Obviously, it would, like, a case-by-case basis is necessary there, but obviously he's also part of a community. There's some religion in there as well. He was also taught to be blind to any color by hippies who've been smoking weed since the 60s. Dukes of Hazzard for bed covers. Okay, so really just painting a picture of us as the kind of community. And he uses imagery like this to evoke feelings of relation to us as well. When people in music, when people make lyrics with names and references in them, other people identify with that if they also have that quality, or if they, like, I also had a Dukes of Hazzard bed cover, you know. Yeah, rock and roll, country music, and cocaine.
The irony of it.
Yeah, rock and roll, country music, and cocaine. One hand on the Bible and the Ouija board in the other. Obvious contradiction here. Why would it, like, you have one hand on the Bible, something holy, and one hand on a Ouija board, something unholy? It implies that your life was kind of split in two. That there was a side of you that really tried to break away from those church steeples that you were talking about. The irony of all is so thick. So irony meaning, ironic meaning you wouldn't expect two things that are seemingly opposite to fit together. Ironic statements, or when you say something and you mean the opposite. Obviously, sometimes people think that that's sarcasm. Sarcasm is just irony intended to hurt. Very important distinction there. So yeah, it is ironic that you would have, like, I suppose you could imagine that it's ironic to have a Bible in one hand, a Ouija board in the other, but he's using the phrase, the irony is thick, to use the word thick to treat it as some kind of thickened substance like smoke or syrup or tar or something, that a fly would get stuck in the thin air of that dope smoke. Dope smoke, coming back to the fact that he's talking about drugs, like rock and roll, country music, cocaine, smoking weed, etc. But the irony of all of it is that he's talking about how he had so many contradictions in his upbringing that it's just impossible to miss. Like, it's so thick that a fly would, like, run into it and get stuck with it.
Doll is so thick that a flower gets stuck in the thin air, that dope smoke. Lennox Skinner and Michael Jackson, practicing moonwalking with a broomstick in the kitchen, popping and locking. No BET on television, we didn't have it. We had the rabbits, the tin foil, mason jar and a counter full of bacon oil. Now looking back, talking about freedom, yeah, you were spoiled. Oblivious to the hideous crimes from the insidious minds that took place right below us on the southern shore.
Interesting. There are going to be a lot of American-based metaphors that I don't necessarily understand fully here. But you can see here first, Leonard Skinner, Michael Jackson, just American musicians practicing moonwalking with a broomstick. I think this is another appeal to the listener, just being like, this was my upbringing. Was yours any similar? Because these cultural movements, like when Michael Jackson did the moonwalk, everyone all over the world was like trying to mimic it. It was such a unique dance, and I think that was really one of the turning points in music as well. Things that Michael Jackson did really set a standard for a lot of the music industry. And obviously everyone is wanting to practice what he does because he's so popular. Popping and locking, obviously another thing that kids will mimic on television. No BET. I'm not sure what BET means. Maybe Alfred can help me with this. Is that an American thing? What is BET?
It's a sorry, one second, my mouth is full of food.
Oh God. Oh no, my timing is awful. What are you eating?
The peanut butter cracker sandwiches.
That sounds delicious. I love peanut butter.
They're great.
Okay, so what's BET?
Anyway, it's a TV channel called. Let me double check this just to make sure I'm getting it right.
Mm-hmm. Also, I'm not getting crap for copyright here, even if I do listen to this a little bit longer. So maybe
So,
we could listen to this all the way through.
It's a TV channel.
Yeah.
That stands for Black Entertainment Television. It's basically just geared mainly towards black feature movies that feature black actors.
Oh, okay.
And other media.
All right, so no BET on television. We didn't have it. We had the rabbits. I wonder if he's talking about how maybe there wasn't enough black representation on TV, things like that. That it wasn't something that he had when he was a kid. He didn't really see it. When
I'm
he was growing
assuming
up.
by rabbits he means specifically antenna TV.
Because they look like rabbit ears. Interesting, like antennas. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. All right. The 10-4. That's a police thing. Mason jar on the counter full of bacon oil. Another reference to a lot of maybe American households that will reuse their oil to make more bacon. Now looking back, talking about freedom. Yeah, you were spoiled. Oblivious to the hideous crimes from the insidious minds that took place right below us on the southern soil. So he's talking about how if you grow up in an environment where you are not exposed to what is happening in the world to other people who perhaps don't look like you, because you are purposefully being kept in the dark by, your government, your police, your state media, things like that, then you wouldn't know. You would not know what's going on here. This is propaganda at work, and he's talking. I think that he's talking about that. That's what it looks like. We're doing lyric analysis here, but it's interesting about the rhyme schemes that he's doing here. I think. Give me a second. 10-4 bacon oil. He managed to rhyme 4 with oil just by calling it bacon all, and then spoiled as well, rhyming with oil. Hideous crimes, mines, and then southern soil. So the oi sound, oil, spoiled, soil, that kind of stuff, and 10-4, he uses that to sort of do half rhymes all the way through and keep us anchored. It's very interesting. Okay, let's go.
Crimes from the insidious minds that took place right below us on the southern shore. The blood and the pain left a recoil. The creek waters holding secrets.
Civil War?
Veterans
Okay.
in the wind. Backwoods are haunted with the death and the sin. Slave ships carried the lost souls. Wicked white men slaughtering angels for a fucking barcode. We bear these wicked ways. The world is still turning. And these motherfuckers with their crosses is still burning.
Okay, the lyrics changed a little bit sooner. All right, so the blood and the pain left a recoil. Yeah, so this song appears to be an anthem to or an ode to America's slavery with chattel, America's history with chattel slavery, and how it still impacts people today. When he says the blood and the pain left a recoil, that implies that there's still an effect happening today with what's happening back then. The creek water's holding secrets. Creek water meaning, I imagine if we're thinking slavery, it's more like water that people used to run through to throw off the scent. It might sound like a reach to you, but that did happen a lot. People used to say, people used to use hymns like "wade in the water" as literal, like when you were enslaved, they would use dogs to come and find you if you tried to escape, so you would wade in the water to avoid the dogs catching on your scent. And yeah, you would say "ghosts of Confederate veterans in the wind." Oh, Confederate veterans is a nice little tiny rhyming scheme there. Backwoods are haunted with the death and the sin. Obviously, if you did have backwoods implies like, you know, take them out back or whatever, or if you catch someone running away out in backwoods, obviously bad things would happen there. Slave ships carried the lost souls, wicked white men slaughtering angels for a fucking barcode. So, yeah, barcode, registered, or at least property, like transactional consumerism, things like that. We buried these wicked ways, the world is still turning, and these motherfuckers with the crosses are still burning. Okay, so we stopped slavery, but still have, like, the effects are still being felt today. And, yeah. Obviously, this is still an American-based thing. But this is also something that can be felt all around the world. A lot of countries in their own have had slavery like this before, especially race-based slavery. And yeah, also this is like I said, the like Ray said before, the content of this song is a little bit heavy. But so I'll give a slight. I'm not sure how bad it's going to get as we go on. But then I'll give a slight content warning just in case you feel uncomfortable reading about this or analyzing this kind of stuff. Feel free to step away from the stream. I won't take it personal at all. It's totally fine. You can come back when you're comfortable. I'm gonna keep going with this because it's very interesting.
Motherfuckers with their crosses is still burning. Yeah, I seen them at the courthouse. Not really sure what they trying to prove still. Jumped over mountains, they still tryna move hills. And the daughters probably listen to Drew Hill. Pussy hotter than blue steel for Drew Hill. Some Jesus gon' take the wheel, no you steer drunk. The youth here punks, the truth here come. I show you how these country folks pop their trunk.
I think the vocab here being used is I'm not too sure. I think it's really just an advancement of what's happening here. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what they're trying to prove still. They jumped up on mountains, they strolled on move hills, and their daughters probably listened to Drew Hill. I imagine Drew Hill is an African-American artist. Let's see. Let's see if he is. Drew Hill. Yeah, African-American. R&B group, actually. So an African-American R&B group. I would say that this is a pointing out of the irony here. That racist people will still try to kind of keep these trends of racism going, and meanwhile, you know, the younger generation is growing up listening to, you know, black artists and African American artists and stuff. So yeah.
I show you how these country folks pop their trunk. And my honesty is modest to tell the whole truth. Yeah, I've pondered and I've pondered to be spit it and called a rigger from who you consider the father at 14 to make you wonder and you wonder. Yeah, that's hard to hear, ain't it? But at that very moment, my picture got painted. Call it God, call it what you will, but I knew the South was sick still and in need of some changes, so I took it upon myself to adopt all the outcasts. I took the American and the Confederate flag, threw it in my back pocket. I even went and got tats and carried them like a shield for the shit that won't tell me back. And these redneck brothers of mine playing that 3-6 in a fucking cornfield and beat trucks with lift kits, oblivious to the beauty of juxtaposition. They had no idea how special it was to witness them in deep Alabama playing Snoop and Group Home, then hanging Metallica. I discovered a new zone and Catfish Billy, a way for me to talk about it. From then on, I was questioning how they got it by my peers who didn't understand that all these years we've been the brunt of the jokes. America made it clear that we were backwards, wrong, behind, and segregated. So I decided the Yelawolf would go make it more obvious that we've grown. I polished up my tone, I signed a shady and brought a record deal home. Look, mama, no hands, I'm coming up, yeah, I'm grown. Respect from the OGs, co-signing my songs. First it was Bun B, then Raekwon and T.I.P. Then all of these MCs wanted features from me. But I was alive while my tongue was a fucking blade to these critics who didn't get it. The clips from the grenade in my teeth. A little too unique, the market for me was smaller than some thought it would be, even me. So I looked in the mirror, saw the Jordans, the gold chain, my shirt, Pantera, rubber flag in my pocket, red red tattooed on my neck. Heart of Dixie across the stomach and it ain't clicked yet. Maybe I wore the wrong shoes back to the woods because these suede number 5s can't get wet. Maybe it's something I need to go figure out on my own. So after Radioactive, I took my shit back home. Disappeared from the world, became increasingly different. Tuned in every once in a while to see who was spitting, but mainly I was in Nashville, getting back to my roots. Exploring music with love story, I made it my truth. Dropped a single called Till It's Gone and traveled the globe. I started seeing rebel flags everywhere in my shows. I didn't think nothing of it, I assumed that they get it. I'm on some new South shit, but I have to admit it. I saw the post up on Instagram proclaiming I'm racist, and then I'm fucked in the head and I don't know where my place is. I started taking it personal, cause I treat people equal, homie. I got mixed kids and music is how I feed them. Lo and behold, as I'm saying this, I discovered this evil white boy went in a church and killed 9 innocent people. God damn.
Hold on, moment of silence.
Okay. So this whole thing is a story about how he came up and then decided to make something of himself. Hold on a second. Yeah. So he's showing how he shows how in some places his upbringing was very much like he mentions he took the American Confederate flag through my back pocket, even when it got taxed, carried them like the shield. It seems as though he went down some interesting paths. Yeah, so he got brought up with in the same places as I would imagine Black Americans would have grown up with, and he adopted a lot of the music and a lot of the cultural norms and things, and then it seems like he then did a switch up and started adopting other parts of culture. He discovered Big Hank and Metallica, Catfish Billy, and then from then on I was questioned, highly doubted by my peers. America made it clear we were backwards, wrong, behind, and segregated. Yeah, so yeah, he decided to strike it out on his own. Hello, taters. He decided to strike it out on his own, but then yeah, he got a lot of people there, but then he talks about probably a lot of controversy. Now, to be fair, I don't know Yelawolf. I don't know what kind of controversy he might have, but I'm just going from this song alone. I don't have any outside knowledge about this. Based on lyrical analysis, it seems like he said, like, my tongue was a blade to the critics who didn't get it. The clips from the grenade in my teeth a little too unique. The market for me that was smaller than some thought it would be. And I think it's more like, this sounds to me like his music was very critical of maybe the establishment, or maybe he was critical towards critics, and his rap was a little bit more incorrigible. And then I looked in the mirror, saw the Jordans, my gold chain, my shirt Pantera, rebel flag in my pocket. Yeah, I think it was like, oh, and then he retreated. He said, after Radioactive, I took my shit back home. Disappeared from the world, became increasingly different. Tuned in once in a while. Exploring music, dropped a single, traveled the globe, started seeing rebel flags everywhere. So I think this is something that happens to a lot of artists, where, yeah, he saw the post proclaiming he's racist, he's fucked in the head, don't know where my place is, started taking it personal because I treat people equal. Okay. So I think this might be what happens when people either misinterpret music, or when they see an old part of you that isn't true anymore, they latch onto that part of you, and they don't see how you've perhaps changed, and then apparently someone, I'm not sure if this was for Yelawolf, but then he talks about a mass shooting that happened, and yeah, I think the context I'm missing is whether he The context I'm missing is whether he actually, like, what did he believe first? He he seemed to grow up in a household that was sheltered from all of the, how shall I put this? Seem to be sheltered from all of the mistreatment that black people in America were undergoing at that time. And I think that once he realized it, he went away and tried to kind of deprogram that. At least that's what it's looking like when I try and analyze these lyrics here. But apparently people didn't click yet that he was changing. And I think that makes him, that he obviously he responds personal. He's got mixed kids, like mixed race children, and yeah, and then he obviously has a problem with mass shootings and stuff. But basically, I think this is a journey of self-discovery for him here, where he says, where he starts off believing things that are more, I would say more supremacist, more racist in a way, just because of the environment that he grew up in. And then he started waking up to this stuff. And by the time he realized what was happening as an artist, people had already latched onto his old stuff, which was still rooted in that time. And then they started supporting him for that. And he was like, wait, that's not me anymore. That's what it feels like from this song, basically. I don't have context either besides the song, but people might have been mad about the Confederate flag since he said he carried one around and had it tattooed in the song. Yeah. So I think maybe from his past, he has these things as part of him, like Confederate flags and tattoos and things, which very obviously is not a good look, brother. But I would say that if he's done work on changing himself and coming out with new music and retreating from the world, then then you know, obviously people should be afforded the opportunity to change and to adopt better views. But I think that obviously some people would still want that to be repaid, because obviously that's a very damaging position to hold if you have that kind of stuff in your mind. So yeah, let's go here. Let's keep going. We're getting a switch up.
9 in the sick church, going people get murdered. There's not a word I can utter. There's not a rhyme I can say. There ain't no fixing that ever. Those people brutally slay, and I refuse to see ways to justify all the blame. Them motherfuckers insane. I got so mad at my own image. I took down merch. No one's explaining it now. It's only making it worse. This fucking coward, this criminal's just a puppet, a mental case. But the truth is the truth. He did it because of race.
Ah, very, very cool. All right, so a lot of people shy away from this kind of thing. When a mass shooting happens in America, you will find a lot of people that converge on this idea of it was definitely not about race. It was definitely not about this, not about that. It was definitely about it was a mental health issue. First of all, it's never a gun issue. It's always a mental health issue. Now, I don't believe this. I also believe it's a gun issue. But it's you'll see how fast people rush to defend things like this that are very obviously cases of race and things like that. And Yelawolf is obviously not shying away from this. And I think that when this sounds like a turning point for him, and you can see that it's a turning point in his rapping style. He gets a lot more agitated about it for good reason, but there's a moment of silence before the beat comes back in again. And I think most of this is just to illustrate his own mindset changing, that he realizes just before this moment of silence, he goes, I don't understand why these people are calling me racist. I've got 2 mixed kids. I've left that stuff behind me. Like, what is the problem? And then this happens, and he's like, wait, shit, I get it now. You know, that's what it feels like to me. When I listen to this song, when I get to this point, it feels like he gets why people are so hurt by what he did before. So, yeah, very, very interesting. And when he talks about how the shooter is insane, obviously that's usually how that's usually the angle that people go for, that it's a mental health crisis and stuff like that. Obviously not following that up with actual mental health services for people and improvements in that department, but more just using that to distract from the real issues, which are racial issues and gun issues a lot of the time when this kind of stuff happens. But when he says, the truth is the truth, he did it because of race, is something that a lot of people would not just say out there. So, yeah, very, very interesting. I like this.
Fucking coward, this criminal's just a puppet, a mental case. But the truth is the truth, he did it because of race. There's nothing I can describe the shame that I felt inside. The white boy with the flag committed these homicides.
Yep.
I so loaded the pen aside, then yes, it was my decision. My interviews roll over the internet, you can see my vision. I never thought myself to be like a politician, just a witness to the sickness, the killing. myself and the love and the wisdom. I'm trying to find my way, but now I'm feeling in prison from the
Damn,
stereotype.
he's
I was
learning.
prepared for the fight. Hell, I'll be stereotyped into my burial site. I married a loaded gun when I married this mic. Ain't playing Russian roulette, ain't playing around with my life. Cause what I cannot lose is the respect that I've gained. Friendships I cherish, fuck the money and fame. Black American culture is in the thread of my veins. It's rock and roll till I die. I'm just a rebel in shame. Yes, I apologize for me and anybody with that flag. Honestly, any proud southerner is sad. How do you think I feel when I look at my granddad? Imagining him dead because of that piece of trash. I got nephews, nieces who need this peace between this, but media is fiendish. So if you feel like you're above it or beneath it, have a logical mind about who your team is.
True.
Look at me, dog.
Damn.
Don't look at me like another branch of a tree, dog. I took the shit and balanced it the best that I could. Try to hold up the wood of America's old seesaw. But this ain't hee-haw with me, ma. We ain't on the Cosby Show, are we, bro? Daddy may give a good night kiss, but I can promise you this, that you ain't promised tomorrow. I wish I could go back to the innocence. I remember my friends with no differences. What pigment is relative, is it it? Maybe by 2050 we'll be over it. Big crit, I love you, homie, keep killing shit. You inspired us first, I got your back, and that's limitless. It is what it is, we cannot fix all this ignorance. American flags up, it's over, I'm in this.
Very cool, very cool. Okay, this section is now talking about how he, let's go back here. Yeah, he owns up to the things he tried to do, and then he starts to realize, I can't defend this shit anymore. Like, I understand, I understand how defenseless this kind of stuff is, and I understand that what he tries to defend here is a lot of people who defend these kind of things, this kind of history, especially in America, is they try and say it's part of the culture. The problem is you can't, certain things, certain parts of that particular culture, especially in the South, you can't separate that from what it was built on, right? And especially in that time, very much built on and developed off the backs of slaves. So when that then develops, you can't separate that because it is a core part of it. So if you are going to support that, you've got to support that as well, the bad stuff too. And I think he's coming to terms with that. He says, I tried so long to defend the South. And then he says, I never thought myself to be like a politician, just a witness to the sickness. And the kindling was in the bridge and the bricks that I laid to the road that I built from the love and the wisdom. I'm trying to find my way, but now I'm feeling imprisoned from the stereotype. So he's basically, I think this part of the song is really about him taking responsibility and owning the fact that he can't support this anymore, because supporting what his old beliefs were about the South in America would be supporting that part of it as well, particularly because a white boy with the flag committed this homicide, and he understands that that is part of that culture as well. So he has to he has to just, you know, devour it all. Then he says, yeah, he's talking about being stereotyped and how the fact that he's put himself on a pedestal means that a lot of people are going to listen to his views, and that's a bed that he's chosen to lie in, and he has to now. But he still makes it clear. Like here, he says, Black American culture is in the thread of my veins, because he grew up on that stuff, even if he didn't understand what was truly happening to Black Americans at the time. And then he apologizes and he says, I'm sad for all the stuff that I've done there and the things I've carried around. And yeah, it's just it's a very interesting moment of someone coming to terms with themselves and coming to terms with their beliefs. And I think, yeah, it's really powerful stuff, man. It's really powerful stuff. I think it's important to treat people like this with grace and to understand that people are, especially for me as a white person myself, I'm not really in a position to like either sort of like be an authority on how much to condemn someone like this. I am very much in a position to preach redemption and restorative justice, rehabilitation and things. So I think that anyone has the opportunity to rehabilitate themselves if they want to, and he clearly wants to. So he's throwing away what he had before. He's understanding that it's part of his past, but he wants to come forward with this and acknowledge that he can't support the stuff that he did without supporting all the bad stuff that comes with it. And I think that's worthy of praise, and I think worthy of grace at the very least. And he should be afforded the chance to rehabilitate from this. And he says, media is fiendish. If you feel like you're above or beneath it, have a logical mind about who your team is. This, I think, is one of the most important lines of the song. Honestly, it's so quick, but it is really a summary of everything that he's talking about here. If you feel like you are outside of this issue, just remember like who you represent, not just based on what you believe, but also based on the way you look and the way you act, the way you talk and the way you dress, the culture you're brought up in, the environment you have, the family life you have, that shapes you. And I think those two lines there, if you feel like you're above or beneath it, have a logical mind about who your team is, describes really importantly to understand the environment that you're in so that you can understand your place in the world and what you want your place in the world to be versus what your place in the world currently is based on that environment and that upbringing. Just introspect, understand how these systems move and how they work, and understand what you might be supporting just by not saying anything about it, just because you represent that part of the culture. Very, very interesting take there. And I agree with it as well, for sure. Then, he does a lot of interesting rhyming again. Seesaw, hee-haw, me-maw, wee bro, and then he ends the rhyming there. But yeah, it's really, really interesting stuff, man. I'm really enjoying this. So I wish I could go back to the innocence. I remember my friends know differences, but pigment is relative, isn't it? Yeah. So, I would say this is probably also one of the most important lines in the whole track. I remember my friends with no differences, but pigment is relative, isn't it? What he means by this is when you're kids, you don't see color, you don't see people coming from different races and things because racism is taught. It's not inherent behavior, it is learned behavior, it's taught behavior for kids. So when you're a kid and you have a friend who's a different color to you, you're like, whatever, he's another dude, I'm going to play with him, right? And this, when you get older, your environment starts weaponizing you against these things and starts teaching you about these differences. He says pigment is relative. It carries a lot of meaning there. That line carries a lot of meaning. Not just that as you grow older, you learn that pigment is a thing, being relative to your younger age where you didn't care about it, but also pigment is also relative in various circles where a lot of people and a lot of systems were actually designed based on the relative pigment of your skin. Like, it's crazy. I'm South African. I know this very well. In South Africa, we had hierarchies based on what color you were, and it wasn't just white and black. There was like there were middling grounds as well, and it was insane. But that's what that says to me, at least. When he says pigment is relative, he more talks about how it's more of it has a lot more meaning than just what he's talking about with his friends. So he remembers that as he grew up with friends as a kid, he didn't see any differences, but yeah, pigment is relative, isn't it? So as he grew older, he started to understand more about what was going on. Yeah, this is very, very cool. I don't know who Crit is, but I imagine just a friend of his, maybe an African-American artist as well. It is what it is. We can't fix all this ignorance. Slamerican flags up. It's over. I'm ending this. When he says Slamerican, I wonder if he talks about just lower-class Americans who grew up on the streets regardless of race. And I think that
I think that's just kind of his brand.
Yeah. But he did wear that in the album art. He was wearing something that said Slamerican. But I wonder if that is an attempt to bridge racial divides by saying that, you know, we're all working class people getting oppressed by the same system, which is something important to remember. Yeah. Okay, cool. Hold on a second. All right, let's listen to the end of this. This is very, very good. I'm really enjoying these lyrics.
Pigment is relative, is it? Maybe by 2050 we'll be over it. Big crit, I love you, homie, keep killing shit. You inspired us first, I got your back, and that's limitless. It is what it is, we cannot fix all this ignorance. American flags up, it's over, I'm in this.
It's yeah, no lyrics anymore. It's just it. So it's interesting here. I'll get into the music itself. Obviously, the shouting here is reminiscent of protests or people standing up for themselves, strikes and things like that. But the beat itself is very interesting. If we start here. If we start here, you can listen carefully to the snares. The snares sound very much like military drums or protest drums or anything that reminds you of a movement. And I think that is what he's talking about here. His last thing is American flags up, it's over, whatever. Like he's trying to bring people together with this, and yeah, it's very clearly it's got these meanings in it's got these meanings in protest, essentially, like protest action. And that was To Whom It May Concern by Yelawolf. It's very much from me, with no context outside of this. I don't know the artist. I don't know what he did or what he didn't do. So just take that with a grain of salt. If he's done something truly horrific, then, you know, obviously that might change what our analysis of it is of him. But just this song in general, just this song in specific, what I can see about it is it appears to be an attempt for him to reconcile with his damaging past, and how he may have inspired people as a public figure to do lots of crazy shit because he represented something that he didn't realize he fully represented yet. And then as soon as he realized it, he was like, I can't, wow, this is really stupid and I'm going to try and change it. And he tried to defend it, and then he couldn't anymore because something very serious happened. Obviously there was a mass shooting, and he tried to turn his life around, and now he realizes that he sort of realizes more of the truth of how these things work. And I think it's an important story. Important to realize that people have this opportunity to rehabilitate themselves and to expose themselves to truth. And I think it really comes with a choice. When you are exposed to what the truth is about the world and the truth about systems, the truth about oppression and things, what do you do about it? What is your choice? I think your choice from that moment is a really defining part for your life. And he has clearly chosen to take a good road down this. But many people double down on that stuff, even when they are exposed with truth. they see it as a challenge more than an opportunity for growth and for change, which is a good thing. Not their adoption of bad things is a good thing. I mean, opportunities for growth and change are good things. And unfortunately, people see truth. If truth is an opposing viewpoint, they will rather see it as an opposing viewpoint before they will see it as truth. And changing an opinion, especially these days, changing an opinion when presented with new information is often seen as worse than actually holding the bad opinion in the first place. People would rather hold on to their shitty opinions than risk being wrong about those shitty opinions. That's it's a bit of a sad state, but that is why we have these songs like this. That's why we connect with people in different ways. That's why we talk to each other in this community. That's why I give lots of analyses about this stuff, because it's important to deprogram and reprogram our brains in understanding that mistakes are good and that we have the opportunity to learn. We must all have the opportunity to change our opinions when presented with new information. And the opportunity to look at the world with an open mind and not just a constant challenge, you know? Challenging your beliefs is good. It's a good thing. You should be out there looking for things that make you question yourself and making sure that you're on the right track, you know, make living as good of a life as you can. Yeah, I like this song. I thought this song was really good. I really enjoyed the message behind it about rehabilitation and changing beliefs, especially as a public figure. Yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah, very nice. Thanks, Ray, for that. I appreciate that. I would love to know, I know that they're not here right now, but I would love to know what your thoughts, if you're watching the VOD, I would love to know what your thoughts are about that song. Obviously, with me, I have no context for Yelawolf, but if you know him better than I do, then maybe you could give further context about it. But that's based on just my lyrical reading of that. That comes from a lot of English education and literature and stuff. So if you're wondering, how do we analyze lyrics of music and songs and stuff, this is something that I teach as part of English curriculums that I've been a part of, I love to teach musical lyrics and teaching messages from those lyrics. Very, very important form of media literacy. So yeah, I guess not just music analysis today, definitely just some media literacy as well. Really, really nice. Okay, right. We got one more in us. I think it was, it's now 12 o'clock. Ember, I might not have time for one of yours, but that just means that next time we do music analysis, we'll be there. I'll start with yours again. I think I'm gonna go for one by Alferg now, and then we'll end it off today. Alferg, if you were to choose one of the many that you've suggested here, which would it be?
Do something quick. Let's do the Saddam one.
Saddam by AlicebanD. Okay. Do something quick. Oh, it's only at 1 minute 33. Okay, very cool. Yeah, 1.5 minutes. That's great. That'll give my brain some time to relax. I'm gonna take a second to just detox from that analysis so we can refresh our brains and move into a new one. By the way, this is not a lecture. I don't intend for this to be a lecture format. This is collaborative, so if anyone else has any opinions or views that they would like to communicate in chat right now, that's absolutely fine. That's why we're here. We're here to talk about that. And I think part of the reason I take this approach with Yelawolf's song that we just talked about is that I have that as well. I've talked often about how I've changed my views up until now. I've become way more radicalized, but also way more progressive, way more leftist in my thinking over the last 10 years of my life. Before then, my environment was very insular, very centrist-based, very liberal in the strict definitional sense of the word. It was very like, keep business as usual, like don't disrupt too much, things like that. And it was only later that I realized that there's more to it. I used to be, there are elements in my life that are a result of a very sheltered lifestyle comparatively to when I got to university and I started opening my mind a lot more. And I really realized what opening your mind really entails. Because when you're in school, it's easy for, I mean, my parents always, not that my parents were inherently discriminatory, but they are, I mean, we are all products of our environments, and they were too. And as a white family in South Africa, it's pretty par for the course if you grow up within that sheltered system. Even though legal apartheid is over, economic apartheid still very much exists and hasn't really been addressed in the last 30 years, which is very unfortunate, but, you know, that's what it leads to. So I've gone through a lot of changes myself, and I suppose that's why I connect with this Yelawolf song so inherently, I suppose. Okay, give me a second. No matter how you've been here, no matter how you've been watching, if you're on the VOD, if you're live, it's been very nice to have you here. Make sure you stay hydrated. I'm gonna drink the last of my water. Make sure you tell your friends about us so that the community can grow. Speaking of the community growing, our wife has joined the server, finally! Very, very happy to hear that. What did she do again here? What groups did she join again? Let's see.
Oh,
She's in teaching, visual art, and media. Okay, sick. I like that. Oh, this music is really, really nice. I'm supposed to be in D&D, but I think I'm gonna bail. Oh boy, are we abandoning this week? Damn. Listen, I know what you're going through, so no judgment. No judgment at all. Are you feeling tired right now? You just feeling like you don't have the spoons? That's vodka, don't lie. Baron, you can't tell people this. What? How else am I going to secretly rave about my, like, like drunkenly rave about my politics. If not with neat vodka in a glass this size. 350 mils of like neat vodka. Sounds great. We had a moment like when I was 18, when I ended school, because in South Africa the drinking age is 18. When we ended high school, we went on a vacation with a couple of friends, and there was a punishment drink for if you didn't do chores or if you didn't like clean up after yourself or whatever. There was a punishment drink. We had room temperature vodka. We had and it was summer as well. Height of summer, because in South Africa the school year ends in summer, but our summer is around Christmas time. So like the holidays in like the northern hemisphere's winter is our summer. So around December is when we have our summer, and also when we end all our schools. So when we graduate from high school, we would go on that vacation. That's like a tradition. And when my friends went, we had a bottle of vodka that we kept on the top shelf in the middle of summer. And yeah, you would have to have that as a punishment.
On the top shelf?
Yeah, man. Hot air rises too, so it was warm.
That's what I'm saying.
Like it felt like, have you ever had like mulled wine where it's like warm, sugared, like spiced wine? It was the same temperature as like a good lukewarm glass of glühwein. It was gross. It was the grossest thing. I think I had it once, and then just to taste, not because I shirked on my chores. I did all my chores, but I just wanted to test it. It was awful. Absolutely awful. Would not recommend room temperature vodka.
I don't recommend chilled vodka.
Oh, well, I mean, I used to be a big fan of vodka until I drank too much of it one time, and now I can't have it anymore.
That's me with tequila.
Oh, tequila? Yeah, I can get that. I imagine that.
Although that one's not my fault.
Isn't it? Is it not your fault?
I gotta tell this story again. Okay, so the first time I went down to visit my friend in Illinois,
okay,
for the 2 weeks prior, the whole time he was like, "Oh, since you're coming down around the time of my sister's birthday celebration, you're having beer garritas."
Beer garritas, Jesus.
Basically, what this is, it was a bottle of beer, limeade, from like the freezer section at Walmart.
Okay.
And then a little bit of tequila, and as a mixer, a lemon lime pop, like Sprite or 7-Up.
Okay.
However,
sounds wild.
He put in. They use. I don't know how big the container is, but they use the container for the limeade because it's like a little bit bigger than a fist. They use that to measure out the tequila. They normally put in 1/3 of the container. My friend decides to put in like 2/3, 3/4. And this whole time he's like, "Don't worry, you can't taste the alcohol. You'll be fine."
That's not how it works. Just because you can't taste it. Yeah.
Well, you'll be fine in drinking it. You won't be.
Yeah, you won't be fine afterwards. Yeah.
Oh
my God.
But because of the fact that he put in like at least double the amount of vodka or tequila that he was supposed to, all I could taste or smell was vodka or tequila.
Awful. Absolutely. Oh yeah, rip.
Took me 2 hours to sip one glass.
Yeah, that would give me that gives me a headache just thinking about it. Shit. So I'm not a big drinker. I don't really partake in any kind of substance at all. Water is my drink of choice most of the time. Sometimes I'll have like soda or something like that. I do drink every now and then, but usually it's just for fun. If there's something that I like, I'll pick up, but it's not really something that I go out of my way to do. It's never really been. I've never really had the interest. When every now and then I was just interested in this part of my life that everyone else seemed to be having, and I was just kind of not enjoying. So one time I just decided to drink a lot, and I was just on my own. I had D&D that night, and I literally had to leave because I was so far gone. I couldn't keep my head up. And after that I was like, yeah, cool. I had that experience. perfectly happy to never have that again, and that was it. And I just keep things in moderation. It's a lot, obviously for me, it's for different people, it's a lot more difficult or easier to handle that kind of stuff. In order to it's always a choice to start drinking, but it can feel a lot easier or more difficult for different people. So I understand that. But yeah, it's not your thing either. Yeah, no, same. Not planning on ever trying alcohol. My genes aren't good for it. Do you mean, is there alcoholism in your family? Or is it just a medical thing? Like, do you think that you'll just respond badly to it? Because in both cases, definitely not a good idea. But yeah, I mean, I would never pressure anyone to drink or to partake in any kind of substance if they don't want to. It's really just about consent. Unfortunately, my hot take about alcohol is that I find it absolutely insane to live in a world where alcohol is legal but drugs are not in so many countries in the world, because in many ways there are a lot of drugs and other substances that are safer for your body, healthier for you, or at least less unhealthy for you, and have less damaging societal consequences than alcohol. And I find it crazy that we have such an alcohol-dependent culture in so many other countries. And like the Korean, like drinking culture in Korea, crazy on another level, dude. It's wild, and I find it wild. I mean, I'm from South Africa. South African drinking culture is also there and present. Don't get me wrong. So it's really, yeah, it's a little bit strange to me. Not that we have that focus on alcohol, but more that we choose. We've made a very interesting choice as to what is going to be acceptable and what is not going to be acceptable. I think that's worth looking into, because you might find some interesting historical decisions that led to why we focus on alcohol over other substances. It's a whole thing on top of what you know, so I'm just not very up for everything. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Well, look after yourself. Yeah, leave the spicy potato juice alone. Leave taters alone. I grew up around Ukrainian Canadians. Oh my god. That sounds awful. I like to smoke greenie. Hell yeah, dude. I don't, but you do you. I've never tried it before, but I have a super open view about drug use. I do not judge it at all, and I believe in safe and open drug use of all kinds. I believe in legalization, and I often talk about the double standards that we have with drugs and alcohol, and how we need to reframe how we view drug use as not a criminal issue at all, but in its worst form, it is a mental health issue that needs to be addressed, and in its best form, it is simply a pastime. And that's it. You really don't have to look any further into it, you know? Anyway, that's my view on it, of course. A lot of people have very strong views about that, I get that. But yeah. Okay. All right, we've had enough time off. Let's do one last little track, and then we can call it a day. It's been a really, really nice music analysis stream. Ember, I'm sorry. Like I said before, I don't know if you were here, but I don't think I have time to do yours, or really like full energy to do 4. I will do Alferg's while I still have the sort of the analysis brain going, but I think I'll save it for when I can actually really give your requests the attention that it deserves. So next time we do it, I'll start with yours again. Okay, for now, this is a song called it's a song called Saddam by AlicebanD. Is there any important context that I need before going into this, Alferg?
If there is, I don't know it either. This is just a song that came up on Spotify.
Okay, cool. Well, first of all, the word Saddam definitely reminds me of the Hussein variety, being the leader of Iraq around the time of the American invasion.
I can tell, no connection.
I'm not sure if it has that connection yet, but yeah, with no context, you know what we can do? Let's read up a little bit of context. Saddam by AlicebanD. Background. Maybe I should have done this for the Yelawolf thing, but I was happy to do it as like a contextless run as well. Okay, Saddam, AlicebanD, Lyrics and track list. AlicebanD Media. Maria lyrics. I don't think it actually has any meaning behind it. Okay, fine. Let's just listen to it and see what happens. Ukrainian Canadians are immune to cold. They must be. I imagine they must be. Let me know when you get closer to the bottom of the list to mine. Oh, wait. Hey, hang on. Where was... Oh, was yours the negative harmony? Because then I will... Because that's very...
They put a couple into the just stream request channel, not the music stream request
Oh,
channel.
stream request, not music stream request. Yeah, that makes sense. Let me go here. Ah, okay. Yes. You know what then I'll do? I will do those next time we do music analysis. Excuse me. Next time we do music analysis, I'll start with Embers and then I'll do yours as well, and we'll make that. So I promise that'll be the next thing. And if I forget about that, then please let me know ASAP, and I'll rectify that immediately. For now, this is going to be Saddam by AlicebanD. It's only a 1 minute 33. I'm sure it'll be fine. Let's go. Okay, starting off with piano. A lot of chromaticism. We've come full circle. It's great. We start off talking about chromaticism and how we move up in semitones and half steps, and now we're doing the same thing. Bam, 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 bam. It's chromaticism.
Think your life is only cold because the world is on your shoulders, letting dreams of fame take over as your daily grind is slow. No remorse, I have no mercy, I am happy on my own. Time girl, she has to learn that people hate what they don't know.
I like
You
this.
think the man you love is lonely as the bridge you climb is burned, but the bridge you build is smoking as the flames are all put out. No remorse, I
Okay,
have
sorry, I just
no
have to
mercy,
pause.
I am happy.
I have to pause very quickly. The cool drum technique, very common drum technique to get your ears ready for what's coming is to open the hi-hat as soon as you start. Here, listen.
The bridge you build is smoking as the flames are all put out.
And then it breaks into something else. That opening the hi-hat is a signal. It's a signal straight to your brain, and your brain goes, "Hang on, something else is coming now." Yeah. It's a very popular technique. Let's go back here and then listen to the whole
The
thing.
bridge you climb is burned, but the bridge you build is smoking as the flames are all put out. No remorse, I have no mercy, I am happy on my own. Time to go, she has to learn that people hate what they don't know. I think this world is overwhelming, I can't help myself again.
Same.
So is the use circle December, I've lost my morning rain. No remorse, I have no mercy, I am happy on my own.
Cool drum beat mixing up. I like it. Okay, so we're seeing a lot of chromaticism, especially in the lyrics as well. Like it's very focused on that, but it's also doing something interesting in the bass, which I will talk about in a moment. It's called an Alberti bass. I'll get to that. Let's finish the song first.
Then I walked into the gallows as I'm a shallow bit of a man. I have my head, I drop my sorrows, I have done the best I can. No remorse, I have no mercy, I am happy on my own. Time
False
girl,
beat.
She has to learn that people hate what they don't know.
I'm gonna play that again. Watch this.
No remorse, I have no mercy,
Wait, it's too quick. There we go.
I'm a shallow bit of a man. I have my head, I drop my sorrows, I have done the best I can.
1, 2, 3.
No
1,
remorse, I have no
2, 3,
mercy,
4.
I am
1,
happy
2,
on
3. It's a 4/4 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then they do something called a false bar, which is where they take a bar out of the time signature, they make it a different time signature, and then they go back to the regular time signature. Remember, time signatures is how we count bars. So 4/4 would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They borrow a 3/4 bar and then go back to a 4/4 bar. I'll count it in again. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. It's a borrowed bar. It's really good. Bop, 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 bop. Bop, 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 bop. Okay, very cool. I love that. Short and sweet, to the point. I I will say, from a post-processing thing, I'm not sure. I couldn't hear all of the lyrics. The vocalist did get swallowed a little bit by the other instruments, but I did get this idea that it's the song seems to be about just the craziness of life in general, and it just seems to be about this constant roller coaster that just keeps going and doesn't stop. That is emblematic of the music in here. That the drum beat continues on, it stays fast and agitated. The music continues to be this chromatic pace. Now, chromaticism, remember, chromaticism in this sense creates a feeling of uneasiness within us. So it creates this feeling that we are not exactly stable, but the agitated rhythm and the tempo means that we are not only unstable, but we're also moving really fast. So moving really fast, unstably, is potentially not safe. Which is, I think, what the effect that this song is trying to create. And it does it quite effectively. One of the things that I'll talk about is something called an Alberti bass, which is apparent throughout this song. Listen to it from the beginning. Bum, 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 bum. That's just the bass, but it comes in later. Love this voice. Oh, so cool. Oh, it's not Alberti bass. Oh, I'm wrong. It's not Alberti bass at all. But it's a clear bass technique, and I can't remember the name for it. But it's bum 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 bum. So when you play a note in the bottom and then a chord at the top with the left hand, boom bum 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 bum. Note at the bottom, bum 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 bum, etc. Listen again. Yeah, dum 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 dum. So the first beat. So when you divide the 4/4 bar into 8, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Bum 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 bum, like that, right? On every odd number, 1 3 5 and 7, you play one note in the left hand, boom 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 boom. And on 2 4 6 8, on every even beat, you're playing a chord, bum 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 bum. Now I can't sing chords, but that's the idea. Very cool. I'm not thinking of Alberti bass. Alberti bass is a very different thing. Alberti bass sounds like this. That's Alberti bass. This is a very different thing, but it's still a very effective bass technique of marching bands and moving inexorably towards something. What I mean by that is that it's a constant pace. And it does create a feeling of movement. That bass technique, the note with chord accompaniment, is very much a let's move, let's go, let's go, let's go. And then add that to the chromaticism that's going on in the vocals and the other stuff, and you get this kind of chaotic feeling that we're going, we don't know where we're going, we're not getting there in a very neat roundabout way, but well, in a very neat way, but we're getting there. And it's very much like strap in, whether you're ready or not kind of vibes, which I quite like. Okay.
One thing I'm surprised you haven't called out yet is the multiple vocal tracks.
Oh, I mean, I just imagined it's just like post-processing stuff, but it really is a coin toss what I decide to focus on in a song. Let's see if I can pick it up here. Solo here. See, this is why it's collaborative. So I'm glad you can pick that up. Give me a second.
You can really notice it right around the 20-second mark.
Yeah, it's in the chorus, right?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, there.
The left audio is playing
that's true.
One line, while the right audio is playing 3 lines, all on the same time.
Ooh, okay, let's focus on that. Solo voice so far. Very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, I like that. So what's happening here, as Alfergus said, is you've got some voices here, multiple voices coming in through the right ear, and then the left ear has a single voice singing a much slower line, really adding to that chaotic feeling. I really like it. They're also syncopated. I was just realizing that. So this one goes bum 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 bum. They change notes and tunes on off beats to each other, like every other beat. Very, very interesting. Let's see if it comes back.
bridge you climb is burned, but the bridge you build is smoking as the flames are all put out.
Oh shit.
No remorse, I have no mercy.
Here comes again.
I think there's 3 vocal tracks here.
I'm hearing the central one just continuing to be an anchor. There is a central voice, and then I'm hearing like maybe 1 or 2 in the right and 1 in the left. That's what I'm getting. I don't know if you have the same.
That's what I'm picking up.
Okay, cool.
I think this world is overwhelming. I can't help myself again. So is to you, circle December. I've lost my
Such a
moving
cool
rain.
pulse, man. I love this.
No remorse, I have no mercy. I am happy on my own. Time to go. She has to learn that people hate what they don't know.
Oh, listen to the lyrics as well. This slow beat in the left, the slow vocalist in the left sings slower as well. It offers almost a counterpoint. Listen here.
No remorse, I have no mercy. I
No of us, I have no mercy.
am happy on my own.
I am not on my own. By the time she says on my own, this left voice is saying mercy. So the left voice is actually delayed by a bar, at least, than the other one, like a single vocal pattern. Very cool. Listen very
It's not
carefully.
just delayed, it's actually slowed down.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like she's singing at half speed to what the other vocalists are doing. Listen.
December, I've lost my morning rain. No
And
remorse, I have no mercy. I am happy on my own. Time to go. She has to learn that people hate what they don't know.
so cool, so cool. And it's just soft enough that you can't pick it up like your brain notices it. One of my favorite things. You're not noticing it, but your brain is noticing it. It's very cool. I like this a lot. Yeah, definitely the vocals are strong here. And steady as well. Yeah, I agree. Very cool. All right, let's finish it off. Here we go.
Then I walked into the gallows as I'm a shallow, bitter man. I have my head, I drown my sorrows. I have done the best I can. No remorse, I have no mercy. I
There's
am
that
happy
rhythm
on
again.
my own. Time to go. She has to
borrowed
learn
bar.
that people hate what they don't know.
More chromaticism. Very fast, tight hi-hats. And then it stops there. Very cool. Very, very cool. Short and sweet. What a great track. Lovely. Thank you, Alferg. Okay. Taters, you did not mess up. Don't worry. It's really just your, stream requests are there for general stuff. I just go to music stream requests automatically because that's part of the thing. But that also leaves people who aren't part of that music tag don't get to see what's requested down there. So if you're away from that, then obviously you're an admin, so you get access to everything. But just for other people, stream requests are there for everything. So if you have any music, if you have any more music that you want me to respond to or analyze on stream, you can put it in the music stream requests in the Discord. If you don't have access to the music stream requests Discord channel, then you can give yourself the music role, the music tag in the role selection channel, and you can go down there and do that. Or if you don't want to do that, you can just put in stream requests. You can just put in a song there, and I will happily analyze it when I get around to it. The one you've shared a couple of songs, Baron. Which one are you talking about? Because if you go to stream requests and you put the song that you shared there, then I'll be able to isolate that one. Don't worry, I'll do my best. It's just posting a song, all right? It's fine. This is not a high stakes problem, okay? And you're right, I do have more stuff on the list, but I think, but I like to jump around depending on people because obviously we've got a lot of people who are like, here, listen to these 10 songs, and then obviously I can't do all 10 of them because, you know, we got to do other people's stuff as well. It's
Listen,
really
Spotify was
a
feeding me
balancing
banger after banger for a while, okay?
I didn't name anyone. So the fact if you bring your name out of this, then that's a you issue, I think. This will bring us to the end of the stream. Not entirely, we can kind of just do a slow fade out. But if you have been watching up until this point, I appreciate your time, and I appreciate that we can spend part of our day together. Thank you very much. If you're watching on the VOD, it's really nice to have the, really nice to have the attention and the Commitment to time? Yeah, spending of time. Very good. Very, very good. You should join the Discord. If you're not part of the community and you want to be, and you want to learn more about this kind of education, then go and join and have more conversations. So what's your plan now, Alfred?
Going to sleep. I have to be to work in 5.5 hours.
Brother, you should go to sleep right now, like immediately. Oh my god. 5.5 hours? Oof. Wild, wild, wild. Yeah, I'm gonna end the stream to force you to go to bed. Here we go. Alright, goodbye, Alfred.
Goodbye.
See you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Try to stay.
If I don't forget my headphones.
Yeah, please remember headphones for the big surprise. Try to stay awake on the factory floor with 5 hours of sleep.
If I need to buy a Java monster, I need to buy a Java monster.
You know, yeah. Sometimes sacrifices must be made for music analysis.
Exactly.
All right. Thanks, friend. Goodbye.
Bye.
Everyone else, we're gonna go away. So thank you all very much for spending time with me today. I truly appreciate it. Let's get on out of here with something exciting. I will see you all in about 9 hours from now. It is 12:32 in Korea. Thank you very much for a wonderful music analysis stream. I love how we got all sorts of cool analysis in there. You might find that a lot of our other kinds of analysis get in on that. Like a lot of political analysis as well. This is very normal. Music is very political a lot of the time, so don't be scared of it. We're reprogramming this stuff in our heads, right? Okay, with that said, thank you once again for spending time with me today. Make sure that you drink enough water and that you are kinder to yourself than you're currently being, and I'll see you in the next very special stream where we do it all over again. Take care.